Student has got an Evo in.
Evo X.
We doing film?
Yeah, it's front bumper.
It is pretty blacked out, isn't it?
Look at that.
Yeah, it's pretty mad.
It is a 10, isn't it?
Yeah. Open the bonnet if you want to have a look.
It's got a headlight missing.
Yeah.
Oh, there we go.
4B11 engines. Built enough of these.
Ooh, got a little bit of. I can't remember what it's called. Kevlar.
Yeah, it's like open weave. I think it's dipped though, look, because of.
Oh yeah. Like a dippy egg.
Yeah, done a couple of these. Used to look after. What was his surname? Chris, someone. And he had a 4B11 Evo 10. Like, I went to Spa with him. Done loads of track days, and that was a MoTeC, and that thing was quick. 550 horse, wasn't mega, but that thing drove. Yeah, about the same sort of time. Because there's a lad now, old bloke called Conrad Bradley, and he's got a GTR engine in an Evo. He's called the Armchair Racer. But if you follow him, I'm sure it's that way around. Yeah, it must be. He's got a VR38 GTR 35 engine in an Evo, full MoTeC. Dave Rowe mapped it, everything. But Conrad used to have one of these, and his was the same. It would like spool from idle. He had the turbo setup, immaculate. That's going back into the old. What was the forum called? Lancer.
MLR.
You remember it?
I used to speak to Darren Fro.
That's it.
All the time.
Yeah. Always wore pajama bottoms.
Excuse me.
Always wore pajama. Whenever you saw him on track days and stuff, he's in like pajama bottoms.
Hello, weightlifter trousers.
Pajama bottoms.
And he obviously started Rally Day.
Did he? What, at
Rally
Coombe?
Day. Yeah.
No way. Because I think MLR has kind of died a death now, isn't it?
It's still going.
Is it?
Yeah, they still come to the events there. They've still got huge.
Because that must have been one of the biggest forums in the country.
That was massive.
Point. It was huge, wasn't it?
That was massive. Passion Ford was massive for all the Ford guys.
Right. Okay.
And the Nissan GTR Owners Club was huge.
Yeah. I always knew the 35 Club was big. I can't remember what that for. 35. Was it 35 Battalion?
Something like that. Yeah.
You in any forums?
No, keep away from forums.
Keep away from forums.
Like you, Rick keeps away from all the forums.
Keep away from Facebook. Yeah.
Keep away from YouTube.
But that's kind of how it's gone now, isn't it? People just have Facebook groups.
Yeah.
You know? It's just the quickest, easiest way to set something up, isn't it?
But with a forum, you could at least search through something for technical advice and stuff, couldn't you?
Oh God! Like even now, you go. So R8 Talk. That's where I started. So I'd be at, like, before I ever started RE Performance, it was like 2011, 2012, and I was just commenting on R8 Talk because of what I was doing at work. And then that's where then the private work started at home. So people would contact private messaging me on R8 Talk going, oh, I've got this R8, can you have a look at it for me? So R8s would get dropped off at home. And then you sort of go on from there. And then I kind of had a good reputation for working on R8s, and then obviously with Audi and what I did there as well. That's essentially where this place started. It was forums. That's kind of where I was always getting my first lot of work from.
That's it.
That is, if that didn't happen, you know, same way I was painting bumper corners on my driveway at home. If you went back to my first house now, there is patches of primer on the floor where, you know, where I was painting, mixing up and stuff, and just doing it like at 7 o'clock at night. Yeah. But that is, when you start something, that is it. Yeah. That is what it's like. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
There was one. Our neighbours bought their house, and there was R8s on the drive, and then they turned up to move in like 3 weeks later, and the R8s were gone, and there was a 40-foot race ban outside, like faded blue Movano. Yeah.
We both should speak more about that at the start.
How we started?
Oh mate, well, look at me when
I never drunk, that is for sure, but I do now.
Look, I used to, when we first moved in here, I used to piss off on a Wednesday and go wash vans, didn't I?
DPD,
do you remember?
DPD.
Because it was a good little hustle, but like that's how like people just think, oh, nice cars and look how successful. And
But being honest, when you look at,
I'll take that back again, mind.
oh yeah, no stress.
Yeah.
The worst you can do is miss a bit.
Yeah, I had a little team. I was paying, next to nothing. Not horrible, but
it's water and suds.
yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Now
when I lost that, I was gutted. Do you remember?
Yeah,
I come in, I was like, Rick, it's gone. Oh no.
it's easy money. It's easy money, and this is what it is nice. So you get a GT3 RS in, and you've got a knife in a parking sensor on Xpel film, and you nick the paint.
Yeah.
It's thousands and thousands.
Yeah, the margin for error has gone from missing a bit of mud on a van to.
Do you remember you took that 458 in, and you were going to redo the film, and you peeled the old film off, and it peeled the paint off?
Which one was that?
The black one when we first moved in here. But it was your fault because you peeled the film off. They were like, no, you've done that.
Oh, the black one from...
Yeah,
I remember that one, yeah.
And you were like, how is that my fault?
Just the way it is. It's just the,
Nobody sees that bit though.
No one sees it.
And what makes it worse for you, I think, is the majority of people are uneducated about what you... Even someone commented on the video the other day, didn't they? He goes, oh, why have you got that fancy detailer in there? Or fancy valeter.
It's brilliant,
fancy valeter.
Brilliant. And all the things you want to reply, was I talking to you about it?
Yeah, we did.
Like you can't reply the way you want to reply because you've got to be professional. But or try to be professional.
Yeah.
People watching this are like, they're professional?
I've never made out I'm a professional. Never, but it's interesting how I would say your trade is punished by two things. One, uneducated.
Yeah. Well, most businesses is that, isn't it?
No, but you can go, even you would say you can't rebuild the engine on your GLC, but people will go, I can stick film on.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah,
because they think it's just putting film on. Yeah,
the,
anyone can polish a car.
Yeah,
but then how many cars have turned up here and the guy's gone to you, oh yeah, I've tried to polish my car and it is hologram to fuck.
How many times have I had to redo someone else's work?
Yeah.
Like the polishing side of it.
Yeah.
Like from dealers, from anywhere. It's, I'm not saying I'm the best.
No,
but it's just.
But you could have. Do you remember when matey brought that 430 Spider in, and he's like, "This is immaculate. You will not find a better one in here." And you put it on the ramp like this level, and you were like, "That's been painted. That's been painted. That's got filler."
Yeah, but you've got to be honest, haven't you? Like,
But it's like your eye, like you bring me in here and you go, can you see that? And I'm like, can I see what? And you're like, that, there. And I'm like, no, George, I can't. It's the level though, right?
Yeah.
But that's what people don't get. Building engines and building gearboxes look fancy, but the risk involved
because building engines is so far away from not the norm, but not every man is dog with building engines, are they? Yeah. But everyone's doing this to a degree.
I think what ruins it as well for you is like where people tout around how much topaz charge or how much this is or how much that is.
It's completely unrelatable.
Because people think now you're putting film on that, you'll be making thousands of pounds out of this job.
Yeah.
And you're like, no,
I
don't.
It's all labour. What I do is all labour, as everyone knows. It doesn't take a genius to work it out. So I earn as much as I want to earn, as in the more time I'm in here, the more money I earn.
Yeah.
If I'm not in here, I'm not making money, am I? Because it's just labour, and that's what makes it hard for me to scale up, as in get another bay in or whatever, because then I've got to rely on someone with the labour with the skill set that I need.
You're the same. You can't. It's like when I took Carl on. Naively, I thought I'd double my money.
Yeah, it doesn't happen.
I made no more money. I made the same amount of money I did when I was on my own, because I was in the office sorting the work out for Carl. So actually, there comes a point where you don't go to one or two people. You need to go from nobody to 5.
Yeah.
And so you can turn the work over.
I always said to take a delivery service or something not simple, but it's simple and relatively whatever. But if you want to scale up your delivery business,
just buy another van.
Buy some vans and get some people.
But it's low risk.
It's still hard to do. Don't get me wrong, but if I want to scale up my PPF business. I've got to pay someone 50 grand.
But it's risk. It's risk. On what you're doing is risk. And people don't realise how expensive the product is you fit.
No one's got a clue. No, not at all. And like I redo bits, so
But you're
that
not
doesn't
happy
go on
with
top of the
it.
bill.
Yeah.
You know, that's just part of it. You know, if I want to polish a wing again, that's another hour gone, so that's labour gone. So yeah, it's all.
It is hard.
And then you've got to have insurance against this as well.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
we're,
yeah.
how much do we pay between us?
Well, I pay £2,000 a month.
Yeah, and I'm like
Insurance.
600 odd. So what's that? What? 20 grand a year for this place?
Yeah. Well, yeah, mine's 24.9 a year or something.
Oh, yours is that, is it? So it's 30 grand.
No, a year. So with yours, 30 grand. Yeah.
Because the cycle
And it's worthless.
Yeah.
It is worthless.
Well, until you claim it.
Yeah. Well, even then, but look at what happened. Like we were on a dyno when I've spoken about this in Ben's podcast. I blew a V10 engine up on a dyno. It dropped the plug tip, and the insurance company paid the cost on the block. It took them a year to pay, so I had to fix the car, do everything, get Simon back on the road, give it back to him at his mint. So it's a brand new block, brand new pistons from CP. Obviously we used the rods, crank was fine, bearings, all the labour, engine out, engine back in. They pay the cost price on every part. They wouldn't pay for the pistons because they weren't OEM, so they would pay the OEM price of the pistons, and then I had to pay the difference to the CPs because they were uprated, because they only rebuild to OEM spec and it was a built engine. And then they pay like insurance rates of labour, so £40 an hour. So I lost.
Was there a part or some parts which gone up in price? You got to battle it for a while.
Yeah. So the block, between them authorising the block and it arriving,
Was it
it
the
got
block,
up like
was it?
£2,000.
I remember something gone up.
Well, you had it with that wrap, didn't you?
Oh yeah.
You quoted an insurance job,
Yeah.
taken so long to authorise it that
Yeah.
the wrap had tripled in price.
Yeah, it was a joke. Yeah, I remember that. That was hard. That job ended up being worthless because it took so long of my time to sort it out.
What the insurance company paid out on that engine, I shouldn't have taken because it pretty much cost me that next year.
So
the amount the insurance went up. Yeah, I shouldn't have bothered. And we said this, didn't we, last year? It's got to the point now where the only thing the insurance will protect you against if the place burns to the ground.
But and then people,
It's a
the
joke.
government wonder why people are insured.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Because people are going, well, I'll just take the risk then.
But there's no.
I mean, you can, because you've got to be professional, haven't you? But people do it.
You do it like, I don't know whether that's just me and you. How many times do we fall on a sword? Like, do you remember that customer that came in here and before he'd even seen the car, he went, "There's damage on my wheel," and he hadn't even looked inside. And we had it on damage report.
That's happened a few times.
But you always have, as the business owner, you always have to fall on your sword, and me and you would. So no insurance, with insurance or no insurance, me and you are fixing that. So the only thing that it protects us against is if the place burns to the ground.
It is. It's the worst case.
Yeah,
You're paying for the worst case.
And then they'll come in and they'll go, "Well, that weren't insured, and this weren't insured. You didn't tell us you had your motocross bikes in here.
Yeah.
You didn't tell us you had this." You know, it is a joke.
Going back to the liability of the car, on this one, it's actually quite a good example. The splitter on the front is damaged.
Yeah.
And he's just had it painted. And straight away I'm looking at it going, well, I'm either painting this because he's going to think it was me, or I need to just tell him and he's going to reply and say, yeah, I knew about it, blah, 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 or whatever. And straight away he's like, yeah, the delivery man, the transport guy literally just done it, dropping it off. I was like, right, okay. So, but that's a clean example.
That's okay.
That could have been a text message back going, "Oh, you've damaged my car in your possession," blah 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 blah, or whatever, and then you're back and throwing.
And it's worse the bigger we get because there's more cars inside. It is. God, this is a doom and gloom.
No, it's terrible. I know I said we should speak about it more, but maybe not that more.
But be interested. Like, you talk to everybody who runs their own business. Like when you run over your camera.
Yeah. Which sounds hilarious when you.
It was funny when you. Yeah.
Well, I didn't run over it myself. But,
No, but and even if your insurance buy your new camera, it's not. Here's your new camera today, right now.
Yeah.
You can go back to work tomorrow. It doesn't work like that.
Doesn't work like that, no. And the premium went up as well.
Yeah. More than what the camera's worth.
Yeah.
But it is. Sometimes I wonder why we do it.
I think me and Dave were speaking about that as well, weren't we? You did say that.
For days like Friday, when everybody was bouncing around.
Yeah, it's a laugh.
Yeah, and that was a different day.
Yeah.
Today, it's a bit more of a somber day.
What happened Friday? I can't remember.
Cole might say, we're being realistic today.
Oh yeah. Some days we joke.
Right.
Anyway,
on that note,
if we've still got any viewers,